The number one question that we get asked as real estate agents is how's the market? Which makes sense. It's probably the most interesting thing, and certainly if you're moving or refinancing, it's really important to know what's going on with the housing market. But even when I talk to my family members or friends, they'll always tell me about, hey, my neighbor down the street just listed their house, or this house just sold. Can you believe how much? So the market overall is something that's always matters to everybody, whether it's the rental market or the buy-sell market. It is really important. And the question that I have for you is, can you trust real estate news? So I'm gonna share a screenshot. I'll put it right up on the screen here. And the reason I bring this up is earlier today, I was Googling just real estate news, and the first articles that popped up were all over the place. And frankly, half of them were talking about how climate affects the real estate market, which frankly, I don't think it does. But if you're trying to figure out what's going on in the housing market, going down a rabbit hole of how the climate affects the real estate market is not helpful at all, I imagine, for a buyer, seller, or somebody looking to refinance or invest. But anyway, my point is for bringing this up is if you just Google real estate news, you're gonna see a ton of noise. You're gonna see nonsense articles about whatever is going on right now. You're gonna see pieces like how the climate affects real estate. And you're also gonna see, especially right now, a lot of news about settlements and commissions and all of these different things. But none of them are probably giving you the information that you want, which is how is the market? There's a reason why it's the number one question that we as real estate agents are asked, and it's because that's what you as the consumer wants to know about. So let me share another story with you that kind of goes in the same trend as well. Is I recently went to Zillow's conference. Now, we are a partner with Zillow.com, so if you search for houses on Zillow like I do, and like a lot of people do, you might be interested in this. So in part of the conference, and one of the things that was probably most interesting to me was their top economist got up on stage and gave a really nice presentation of what's going on in the market. So her presentation talking about what's going on in the market right now was very similar to how most of, if you get to a headline where it says this is what's happening in the market, they're going to give you what's going on as national numbers. Now, the reality is what's happening on a national basis is probably not happening in your backyard or where you're thinking about maybe moving to or selling or investing in. So I'll give you two different stories that came from this. Is one of the messages they gave after giving what's going on in the overall market, they gave two opposite scenarios. They talked about areas in cities like Houston, Texas, for example, that is having prices fall through the floor. It is a very, very cold, or it's a very hot buyer's market, meaning sellers are staying on the market for 6+ months, prices are coming down, so it's good for buyers. Now, also on the other end of this, you had Los Angeles, which also usually clumps in Orange County as well too, is a really strong seller's market still. Prices are very close to all-time highs, inventory is still relatively low, and time on market is in the weeks, not in the months, meaning homes are selling much faster when they're listed. So how could, in this same housing market update, you have two absolute opposites of what's going on in areas like Texas and areas like Los Angeles? So my point for saying this is exactly why we make this newsletter for you, so you can understand what is going on in our local market and in our backyard. So if you haven't been following along for very long, here's what we cover on this newsletter. Pretty much the first week of every single month, we're gonna give you the Orange County housing market update. Now, if you're not already subscribed to this, you can go to onyxhomes.com, and right on the homepage, you can register for this newsletter. But this is where we talk about what is going on only in Orange County, and it's very specific to our location. Now, if you're looking in Los Angeles or any of the surrounding areas to Orange County, we'd be happy to give you those reports as well too. But this is usually what we send out every single Friday, first week of the month. Now, every other week we send something out that we feel is the most important thing. Like right now, if you're trying to figure out what's going on at the back half of the year, Googling real estate news is probably not going to be helpful. And like I mentioned, that is exactly why we make this newsletter. So every single Friday, we send out what we feel is the most valuable information for you. And right now, it is talking about the market. Now, the market in the winter right now, as I'm filming this in the middle of October, is a really good time for buyers to get in the market. We have seen interest rates pull back and go back up a little bit. Sellers are a little bit hesitant of listing right before the holidays. So for those buyers that can take advantage of what I've been calling this window of opportunity buying this winter, I think it is a fantastic time, because come January, all the buyers who are sitting on the fence and waiting for the beginning of the year are going to be jumping in the market. And I think we're all pretty confident that over the next couple of years, we're going to see interest rates continue to trickle down. Now, if you want to talk about your unique situation as far as what is going on, you know how to reach us, or you can go to allaboutoc.com, drop your information, and schedule a time to talk with one of our local experts about your unique situation. Now, the reality is there is nuance to everything. So the LA market that I mentioned that was talked about in Zillow's conference was talking about Los Angeles and Orange County, not just Orange County and not just Los Angeles. Orange County's market is different from Los Angeles, which is different from the Inland Empire, which is different from San Diego. So it's really important to understand that what you're looking for is probably not going to be covered in any of these normal market updates. Now, the reality is, even within that, if you are looking in, let me give an example of, if you're looking in Orange County and you're comparing San Juan Capistrano to Newport Beach, the luxury price point is going to be different. So a luxury price point in San Juan Capistrano might be $3 million, whereas in Newport Beach is closer to $6 million. That's double the price to be considered luxury, and everybody's got a different definition of luxury to make it even more confusing. And it's the same thing with entry-level pricing. It's going to be different even in different cities and even in different neighborhoods. So my point is, if you are thinking about making a move and you want to know how's the market and what's really going on in the areas that you're interested in, head over to allaboutoc.com, drop your information, and book a time to chat with one of our local experts. It is going to be the absolute best way for you to get the most information for you. Again, my name is Christian, and we make these videos just to give you as much information as possible. So I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.